So, two things that should be in a vapor's grasp. Your favorite mod with your favorite all-day vape and water. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no dehydration going on in Joe of All Vapes life. So, what is up, Vape fam? This is Joe of All Vapes, as you couldn't have imagined, with another awesome Ejuice review. So, if it wasn't obvious already who I was reviewing today, the ever popular Humble Ejuice. Humble makes some really boss Ejuice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different flavors that they sent yours truly, and we're gonna pick these bad boys apart. It's really totally some of the best Ejuice that I have tasted. And, they definitely do rank up there on the upper echelon of coolness. And the one awesome thing that I love about this company is that they're not novelty, but they've come up with really solid flavors, tasty ones, with decent ratios enough to blow some really good vapors sky high. But the quality is really solid. They've made a massive following without going too overboard in the novelty sector. You know what I'm saying? An Ejuice manufacturer can take their direction any which way they want. And don't get me wrong, I've got nothing on, or against the novelty vapes out there, but it does show a slight amount of professionalism to come up with a really solid brand that is not solely just wrapped around some kind of cutesy, artsy-fartsy, sparkly unicorn, different type of, cartoonish kind of vape, I guess you could say. The only unicorn I like in my vape is bottle, you know what I'm saying? But Humble Juice is what we're talking about today. So like I said, they've come out with 6 signature flavors, and I'm sure if you request a flavor card with your flavors, they'll probably bust one out to you. We're going to go first of all, starting with the Pero Nuts. This one was a combination, just a mixology that was absolutely perfect. So almonds, I love a good almond vape as it is. Now you mix that up with some solid, really juicy, sweet pear, a little bit of honey. All 3 of these flavors are a breakfast lover's dream. Now imagine taking a fresh, nice, cold, ripe pear, slicing it down the middle with some crushed almonds over the top and just drizzle that with honey. Tell me you're not going to want to eat that for breakfast or even dessert, you know what I'm saying? Now you take the lid off of this bottle, give it a little bit of whiff. You don't even have to squeeze it very much. It's just, oh man, it really comes through. Pear is my absolute favorite flavor. Almonds are my very favorite nut, and who doesn't like honey? You mix the 3 of those together, you've got an amazing all-day vape that is still very light and solid, as far as kind of that earthy flavor from the almond, and it really complements and brings together the honey, and that pear is just unbelievably amazing. Pear vapes are really singular, really solid, and if you mix it together, get the mixology and the blends just right, it's going to come out as good as the Pero Nuts. Really solid flavor on that one. Now the second flavor is the You're Welcome, and this was the grape and plum citrus tea. This one was really super unique. There aren't many tea flavored e-juices out on the market that I have experienced, but this one is incredibly unique. It is extremely aromatic. Now, if you give it a little whiff, just like I did, I mean, you don't even have to squeeze the bottle just to get a little bit of the aromatic quality going on in your nostrils there. It really is an amazing aroma to this guy. It's unlike anything I can guarantee you guys have ever tried. I don't know if you've tasted tea vapes, but a little bit of grape goes a long way with pretty much anything as far as candy or drinks are concerned, especially vapes. There's a lot of good grape vapes out on the market, but plum, when's the last time you tried a plum vape? You know what I mean? Now compare that to a really aromatic tea, and this is a very aromatic tea. It doesn't say what kind of tea it is. I mean, there's chamomile, there's a ton of other different types of teas on the market. So if you take something that is already fairly aromatic and natural flavored with a little bit of just that deep earthy aroma to it, mixed in with a good deep rich sweet plum on top of that with a little bit of grape, you're getting something incredibly unique. This one was super refreshing while still being kind of grounded, so it definitely gives you something to appreciate. You know, the one hard thing I find about vaping so many different flavors from so many great brands out on the market, when you got a company like this that goes beyond the spectrum of just 3 signature flavors, and they come out with something a little bit outside the box, you know, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, what have you, when all of them are really high quality. I don't want to force vape it, but I kind of do, just to get on to the next awesome flavor. You know what I'm saying? So that brings us to the third flavor, the Humble Crumble. And this one, once again, is the blueberry and crispy buttery graham cracker crust. Now, this one was definitely reminiscent of the holidays. You know what I mean? It really brings me back. The buttery flavor on this is really, really solid. Not too strong, though, so it doesn't overpower the blueberries. Typically, blueberry, being at a light flavor naturally, can be just a little bit of a flavor powerhouse when it comes to a lot of the blueberry-flavored vapes out there. But believe it or not, the graham cracker crust crumble going on in there literally kind of mellows everything out just a little bit. But the butter added on to the graham cracker crust coming in on the back end, the blueberry is really what you hit you in the, you know, just from the get-go. It really, really is a very comfortable, warm vape. Kind of makes you feel at home. You know what I'm saying? You just want to kick your feet up at the end of a day and dig into something this warm and decadent. So the American Dream is the 5th flavor. This one is right up my alley. This is the fruit-flavored Rice Krispies treat. This one is super, super fun. Very, very simple. Very, very straightforward on this one. So it reminds me enough of a cereal vape, because it basically is kind of a cereal vape, but it's a little bit more. You can taste a little bit of the marshmallow and the butter in there. The butter is very, very light tasting. Maybe it's just in my head, but the marshmallow, as per a typical Rice Krispie treat, is definitely in there. But it's kind of tinged in there with some of that fruit flavor from the cereal vape. So it's really something kind of interesting. It's very, very sweet. It's a very, very fun vape. Definitely enjoyed this one, and a teeny weeny bit of a palate cleanser just because of how light and airy it was. So the Vape the Rainbow is and this one was the rainbow sorbet mixed with fruit flavored candies. This one pretty much hits that little tangy spot right in here, you know what I mean? When you're eating like, you know, a really tart candy. Oh yeah, it's like super, super tart. It makes my mouth want to water just smelling it. It was a really fun vape. Not my favorite out of the 6, and I think the reason is just because sometimes when I eat sorbet, it can be so acidic due to the citrus that's going on in there. It kind of burns your tongue a little bit after a while, but oh my God, it's still so good. You know what I mean? You just got to keep eating it. It reminded me of that. So once in a while, this is a good solid vape for me. It is very tangy. It is very sweet, but I mean, just that tart, tangy taste, extremely true to a typical sorbet. So if you guys dig that kind of stuff, you're definitely going to like this one because it is very true to the profile. So definitely 2 thumbs up on anything being true to profile, in my opinion. Know what I mean? And the last but not least flavor is the Berry Bodo. And this one is mouth-watering bubblegum lollipop infused with blueberry and raspberry flavoring. So not your typical berry bubblegum vape. Okay, yeah, I mean, just tasting it and smelling it is one thing, but vaping it is another. So as soon as I open it up and I smell it, you can smell the bubblegum, but you can also smell that awesome berry taste just kind of floating in there, a little bit of the raspberry, a little bit of the blueberry, and the blueberry is very light on this one, even though typically to me, the blueberry vapes can sometimes be just a little bit overwhelming with the blueberry flavor, but the bubblegum really shines through. Bubblegum has a cool way of really mellowing out a good flavor and making everything else that it mixes with really, really fun and really, really pleasant and enjoyable. So when you get anything by Humble, you're going to get the opportunity to get anything from 0, 1.5, 3 milligrams, all the way up to 6. And 1.5 actually is kind of rare. There aren't a lot of companies out there that do 1.5 milligrams per milliliter Ejuice, but they really do cater to a wide flavor spectrum. So obviously, of course, you can get these in bigger bottles than just 10 milliliters. You can get them in the full 30 milliliters and try these guys out for yourself. So pros and cons. Tons of pros. Definitely no cons on any of these. Now, they have since switched around their formulations just a little bit since I have gotten these juices to make them just a little bit more palatable to everybody. Definitely not different too much far out on the taste from everything that I just described to you guys. But once again, the best way to be able to tell that is to go on and try these guys for yourself. So go on to Instagram and definitely check out Happejuice Co. and give them a follow. Check out all their pictures. And once you've done that, follow the link on their Instagram page to humblejuiceco.com and you'll be able to see everything that they have there, and you'll be able to buy whatever flavors that you guys want in whatever nic milligram that you choose to do so, and ask them any questions you want. These guys are really super down to earth, and hey, I mean, look, dude, where else can you get a boss hat like this? You know what I'm saying? Happejuice Co. That's what I'm talking about today. So Humble, really appreciate you guys sticking it through with me. Stay humble, you know what I'm saying? I really appreciate your guys' support, and the rest of you, I really appreciate you sticking through and watching another one of my awesome reviews. If you dig them, stick around, because I've got a ton more stuff going on. More mods, more giveaways, more Ejuice, more accessories, and some really big, exciting things going on in the Joe of All Vapes future. I have hit 10,000 followers. I finally touched base with that mark on Instagram, and I really could not have done it without you guys. Thank you so much for your support, which brings me to that 10,000 follower giveaway I've been alluding to from video to video to video, driving you guys crazy with. I've got some of my awesome sponsors contributing to that giveaway. I'm still putting it together, so stick with me, folks. There's definitely going to be something going on way before the end of the month. And of course, on top of that giveaway, I've still got my typical monthly giveaway going on, as well as a really, really exciting giveaway that I've got coming up with my guys, my awesome sponsors over at the Pie Guys Ejuice out of California. So stay tuned for that. Keep your eyes open. I just want to say, definitely keep the advocacy alive. Sign as many petitions as possible and spread the word for advocacy. Make sure that we still get the opportunity to enjoy doing what we love to do. You know what I mean? Can't let that die. You know what I'm saying? So, this is Joe of All Vapes. Once again, thank you for watching, and love yourselves, love each other, and above all, you keep it cloudy.